welcome back to the Premier League show. Jimmy is back for this final section, so we're going to focus on the bottom of the Premier League. And it was West Ham who dropped back into the relegation zone after Tottenham Hotspur made it back-to-back wins under Roberto De Zerbi. Former Spurs striker Dimitar Berbatov told our reporter Tim Thornton the Italian is the right man to lead them to safety, but has a warning for any celebrating fans.
But the job is not done. You know, the moment they think that, oh, we're safe now, no. They have a couple more games until the end of the season. The right steps are made into the right direction, but nothing is over, so they need to be careful. The one thing I would like to see is that level of concentration when you need in the games like this. When is it winning a cup, a medal, or fighting for survival? Concentration. Especially when you need to win, like Spurs. I don't care how you play now, just get the points. That's the most important. They've done it so far, 2 games, 2 wins. Into the position of being a manager is great because it shows that he, in my mind at least, trusts his ability to guide Tottenham to survival, which sounds strange, guide Tottenham to survival, but it is what it is. And let's hope they achieve the mission, and next season, with him in charge, I think they can do a lot better.
Do you think he has the right kind of profile for Spurs to move the club?
I think from what I saw in Brighton, then in Marseille, from what I hear from my colleagues, from what I can read from his interviews, so I make a profile of him for myself to think, okay, that's the person that have football knowledge, have bravery. He's not afraid to tell you in your face what you need to know, like we saw in the past. So that's what Spurs sometimes need, that shake, like wake up, okay, we are not good enough, or we are good, but we need to do even better. So I think he's the right man.
7 points from the last 3 games. How has he managed to impact a team that really, before he came in, simply couldn't win a game?
His own belief. And I think he's looked at the personnel that is there and seen that there is a lot of quality. But he's also a manager that he knows his players follow. So he believes in his ability that he can get his players to follow him in the structure, in their beliefs and their way. And the last game against Villa, oh my God, that was such a big transformation in everything. In the approach, in the looks, how the players were looking, in the belief, in the energy, everything was totally different that we haven't seen. So and you have to give him the credit. You have to, say well done, of making them believe and getting a team out of them and making them run. As Berbatov said, it's still not over, but they are on the right track. It will do them so much good, those 3 points at Villa. Now it's the next match at home against Leeds, what is going to be another difficult game for different kind of reasons, I
mean, hindsight's a wonderful thing, but they must regret not bringing him in sooner, mustn't they?
Difficult thing, and I think if you would have brought him in sooner, you wouldn't be in this position. He knows the Premier League. He knows what is expected. He's got them playing in a certain way, but they are also believing him because they know that he knows the Premier League, and he has got that aura around him that I know it. There is somebody standing in front of them in that group. And yeah, you're right. They should have done that way earlier.
3 games to go. Forest 42 points. It'd be something pretty incredible for them to go down now. Is it between these 2, and with 3 games to go, who stays up?
It is between them 2. I think Forest are safe. It is between them 2. West Ham needs to get something out of the game against Arsenal. They have to get at least 1 point. I think what is going to be very, very difficult, but you never know. And they are playing at home, Spurs. And even though it's against my old club, it's going to be a difficult, very difficult match. They're playing really well, Leeds. They need to win because they are playing at home, you know. I still think that it's going to be harder for West Ham to stay up. I still think that I've always said that West Ham was going to stay up, but now with what they have got to play for the last 3 matches, I think it's going to be very difficult for West Ham.
Allison's fitness. He didn't train today after he came off injured in the 2-1 win over Aston Villa at the weekend. Well, he limped off after scoring the winner to help Spurs climb out of the relegation zone. Spurs are yet to comment on whether he'll be available to face Leeds on Monday night. There's some positive news, though, as James Maddison continues to train as he nears a full return after a serious knee injury. He's been on the bench for the last 3 games, but is yet to come on. Well, as we know, Spurs made it back-to-back wins under Roberto De Zerbi at the weekend. And their former striker, Dimitar Berbatov, believes they've found the right man to lead them to safety. But he has a warning for any fans going too early with their celebrations.
But the job is not done. You know, the moment they think that, oh, we're safe now, no. They have a couple more games until the end of the season. The right steps are made into the right direction. But nothing is over, so they need to be careful. The one thing I would like to see is that level of concentration when you need in the games like this. When is it winning a cup, a medal, or fighting for survival? Concentration, especially when you need to win, like Spurs. I don't care how you play now, just get the points. That's the most important. They've done it so far, 2 games, 2 wins. The Zerbi shows that passion and that intelligence where he knows how to approach games like this. And the bravery to get into the position of being a manager is great because it shows that he, in my mind at least, trusts his ability to guide Tottenham to survival, which sounds strange, guide Tottenham to survival, but it is what it is. And let's hope they achieve the mission. And next season, with him in charge, I think they can do a lot better.
Do you think he has the right kind of profile for Spurs to move the club?
I think from what I saw in Brighton, then in Marseille, from what I hear from my colleagues, from what I can read from his interviews, so I make a profile of him for myself to think, okay, that's the person that have football knowledge, have bravery. He's not afraid to tell you in your face what you need to know, like we saw in the past. So that's what Spurs sometimes need, that shake, like wake up, okay, we are not good enough, or we are good, but we need to do even better. So I think he's the right man.
Right, well, let's get to the other end of the table, shall we? With 3 games left to go, West Ham's Premier League survival could go down to the wire. A 3-0 loss to Brentford on the weekend means they are 1 point off Tottenham, but Konstantinos Mavropanos is calling on the fans to galvanise the team ahead of the final games.
It was a bad result for the team, and we were really disappointed and really frustrated because I think we had some big opportunities. We hit the post 3 or 4 times, disallowed goal. Some decisions were not on our side, and yeah, it was a result that I don't think that we deserve it. It's getting tough. It's really important that we have 2 games at home with our fans. We need their energy as well to push us for the last 3 games. It's not in our hands, but the only thing that we have to do is to keep fighting, because it's football. You never know what's going to happen, and once we give everything we have and get the best out of these 3 games, then we will see what the table will be in the end.
Hello, Dave Reed. He's joined the group chat. OK, look, Asmir, West Ham in a critical position here. Have you seen any encouraging signs for the fans that they can get a result against Arsenal?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think it's possible. West Ham have some really, really good players, and I think it's funny what a week does in football. 10 days ago, Tottenham were doomed, and now West Ham look in a lot of trouble. So I think things change very quickly in football. without a doubt, it's going to be a very difficult game for Arsenal to go into West Ham. And I think West Ham, with the quality they have and some of the individual quality, the back end of the fans can definitely get a result. I think what's worrying for them is it's out of their hands. So even if they do get the results they need, if Tottenham have to slip up, which of course is possible, it makes it a little bit more difficult for West Ham.
West Ham, I think, hit the woodwork 4 times in that game against Brentford, so they came close. But you have to say Brentford did deserve that victory in the end. It's probably going to be quite a high points total for the points to survive this year. We're looking around 40 points, which is going to be the highest it's been in more than 10 years. So it's quite a high bar to stay up in the Premier League this year. And we saw Spurs get a victory against Aston Villa on Sunday night. I mean, what did you make of that? Was that the most almost complete performance under Roberto De Zerbi that we've seen so far, Asmi?
I mean, it's definitely the best performance we've seen from a Tottenham team in quite some time now. Bit of context to it, I think Aston Villa very much strained from their Thursday night excursions in the Europa League. Very much looking forward to the second leg. So a week in Aston Villa side. But what I did like about Tottenham was their commitment, their work rate, the pressing. Tottenham have been very disjointed over the last few weeks. So ever since the Zerbi's come in, he's made a massive difference. So if they keep that level of commitment, desire, togetherness, then I can definitely see the quality coming out even more, because then the confidence starts to come back step by step, and they have top quality players. So if they're playing well, working hard for each other, sacrificing when they have to, I think the quality will shine through.
And that's what's been questioned recently, hasn't it? Commitment to the cause. And you feel like now they're starting to show that?
I definitely think so. And again, it's difficult. I think there was a lot of negativity around Thomas Frank when he was in charge, and Igor Tudor, there was a lot of complications with him, the interim manager. But now De Zerbi's come in, long-term contract, top manager, top sort of, name, and he comes with a certain aura into the football club, and it's his way or the highway, really. So you can definitely see the impact that he's already had. Even in his first game, there were some really good signs, and they've taken it into the next 2 games. And even the game of Wolves, they have to stick at it. They didn't lose will, they didn't lose the desire to continue to push in that game and try and win that game. So overall, he's made a massive impact.
And can I just ask you about Kinski as well, the goalkeeper? He's had a rough time this year. What have you made of his almost, the comeback of all comebacks for him to keep them in the league potentially?
I mean, such an unprecedented situation. What happened to him in Madrid? Igor Tudor is definitely in the bad books of many goalkeepers for what he did there to Kinski. But ultimately for him, it's about character. It was a big challenge for his mentality, his psyche, and I think he's come back really, really well. And as the whole team obviously bounced back, been given a chance to play in the team, have a little bit of a run in the team, and you can see the confidence, just like the rest of the team, slowly coming back.
How did you feel when you saw what happened between Tudor and Kinski? Just because I saw a little glint in your eye there when you were talking about it. It was quite tough to watch, wasn't it?
Yeah, tough to watch. Again, didn't quite understand it, the whole idea. The goalkeepers union, of course, we have to stand up for one another. Just very much uncalled for, the whole thing. So to see him bounce back nicely, get a run in the game, which is, I think that's the best thing that's happened to him. He could have been to the end of the season, go in the summer, and then it's months since he's played. The fact that he's been given the opportunity to play again now and have a run in the team, I think is the best thing that could have happened to him.
I definitely think we've seen a shift in their body language as well in terms of the Tottenham squad. What is your prediction then on who stays up?
Yeah, you put me on the spot.
No, I did it quickly because I just thought.
So, thank you for that. Yeah, I think you have to look at Spurs and with the manager, the momentum they have, and I think we talked earlier about peaking at the right time. Tottenham seems to be finding that form. They're going to have the atmosphere at Tottenham Stadium with their fans now going into the Leeds game. So I think, Tottenham are favourites to stay up at the moment.
Forest, it seems, are pretty much safe. What have you made of the job that Vitor Pereira has done there? Kind of quietly gone about his business?
Yeah, I mean, he's done an incredible job. Again, he did an incredible job at Wolves last year. Difficult summer, so he has a tough start season. But again, I think he's got a really good squad. If you look at the players Nottingham Forest have, a lot of quality. Sean Dyche did a really good job again when you look at his win percentage. So I don't think Forest have been miles away all year. So he's carried on that good work. And I think what's been really impressive, the 2 competitions, the way he's taken him to a semi-final in the Europa League, getting him safe now in the Premier League, I think we can all say it's been an incredible job.
Yeah, let's talk about a couple of those Nottingham Forest players then. I want to talk about Morgan Gibbs-White. Firstly, on Forest, I mean, it's 10 games unbeaten in all competitions. It's an amazing run to end the season. 3 or more goals in 3 consecutive Premier League games. They are on fire going forwards. And I know Gibbs-White started on the bench against Chelsea and then came on to get some minutes in the legs ahead of the Europa League game. He's almost changed his position slightly in the last couple of weeks. Been playing a lot as number 10 and then has started actually left-hand side. And he's almost gone 4-4-2 at the moment, Vitor Pereira. What do you think of Morgan Gibbs-White? I mean, everyone's looking ahead to the World Cup. Does he get in the England squad for you as a... Is he more likely to get in as a left-sided player than a number 10, do you think?
Probably. I think if you look at the depth of the players England have in that number 10 position, what a luxury that is. Absolutely incredible. So, going to be very difficult for him. I think, again, what's great with Morgan Gibbs-White is taking his game to the next level each and every year. I mean, he wasn't, when he first joined Nottingham Forest, he wasn't exactly a regular in the Premier League, but now he's the captain, he's the one they look to, leader in the team, plays out of position if he has to, so leads by example, sacrifices if he has to, he's putting his body on the line as you saw in the game against Chelsea. So I think it's been incredible. I think his form, and I think also what's helped Nottingham Forest recently, the return of Chris Wood. I mean, a Premier League proven player, number 9, physicality, gives him that, focal man up front. So I think, again, missing a player of that caliber for most of the season has been very difficult for them as well. So I think those two have made a huge difference.
Just on Morgan Gibbs-White, of course, as you mentioned, he went off with that cut on his head.
The thing is for sure, Roberto De Zerbi has galvanised Tottenham Hotspur, but how has he done it after winning back-to-back games in the Premier League? By the way, for the first time, Tottenham, since August. He's got them out of the relegation zone. There are 3 games to go, Jamie O'Hara. How confident are you feeling and how has he managed this?
Well, I think he's got the team organised. He's got them, in a really good press. We saw it against Aston Villa. There's an organisation to the team. I think he's given confidence in their ability again to go out and play and produce decent wins. Conor Gallagher was outrageously good against Villa. And
what a goal that is.
Yeah, great goal. And I think Conor Gallagher said it about how he's made them feel since he's come in. He's been showing them highlights of when they were playing at their best and trying to remind them of the players that they are, because Spurs have got some really good players. Colin Mawani, Richarlison, they have produced big moments. So, look, he's done a great job. He's not over the line yet. That was a massive result, but we played Wolves and won that. Wolves are the worst team in the league, and Aston Villa were terrible, right? They were. They didn't play well. We played really well, but they were terrible, Aston Villa. So, massive 6 points. Point against Brighton now looks like a good point as well. So, really, really, really happy to see that he's sorted it out. But we have still got 3 big games coming up.
We've had Richarlison, we've had Tim Sherwood on here talking about Richarlison. And Solanke injured, you don't want to see players get injured. But actually, has this worked out quite well for Spurs? This was a guy that scored those important goals for Lampard in that run-in that kept Everton up. He's been here before. He's one of the only few that's got muscle memory of a relegation scrap.
Yeah, relegation Richarlison, isn't it? It's when he turns up, right? This is his moment. This is what he's made for. And I was surprised Solanke was getting in front of him, because I think Solanke's had a really poor season.
3 goals, 2 against City in 1 game.
Yeah, terrible. He's had a really bad season, really bad. And I know he's had injuries and he's picked up another one. But I just thought this was the perfect moment for Richarlison to come in. He knows he's going to play every game, keep him fit, and he will score goals. You give him chances, he'll score goals. But what I really liked about Richarlison the other day was his work rate. All of them, their work rate was just so much better. And it wasn't just running all over like headless chickens. They were running in an organised press. And they really, really looked like a good side. And, fair play to De Zerbi, because he hasn't had long. He hasn't had long on the training pitch. But he's got his points across quickly and get it over the line and then, build for next season, because hopefully if we stay up, I think he's going to do so well for us.
But Jamie, I can see you look fresher, you look like you're sleeping better, you seem happier, you're less bitey today as well. Like you feel that he's going to do this, don't you? Because bearing in mind you're going to be wearing an Arsenal shirt, aren't you? And I went deep into your Instagram this morning trying to find, because there was a picture, it was on a story somewhere.
Yeah, I lost the paddle match, I had an Arsenal shirt on.
Couldn't find it.
Couldn't find it, I've deleted it.
But come on, you're Gunners this weekend, aren't you?
Yeah, of course. Listen, I want West Ham to go down. This, that we're fighting it out. It's a straight shootout. So, look, obviously, Arsenal are going to win the league if they beat West Ham, right? They are. They're going to win the league. They'll smash Burnley and they'll get it over the line against Crystal Palace, because they'll have a final coming up. They'll rest players. So the last test for Arsenal is to beat West Ham. And that helps Tottenham. And, I have to accept it. We are in different spectrums right now, Arsenal and Tottenham. We're in different planets. Arsenal are a team that's been built over the last 5 years to go and win the Premier League. Spurs have been in disarray.
Yeah.
Now, Now we've got the manager. This manager, Roberto De Zerbi, can take this club, I believe...
Take them where?
Well, I think next season, if we stay up, and I know this is a big statement, if we stay up with Roberto De Zerbi, we'll be dangerous next season. I think we can get Champions League football.
What does dangerous mean?
Well, dangerous means we have got a proper manager in charge.
Dangerous in the danger zone again?
Well, we'll be... I reckon we could get in the Champions League, and I think
top 10?
What do you mean top 10?
You've been 17th, you're currently 17th?
No, next season I think we'll get Champions League football. We won't have European football. Listen, I'm saying all this, we've got to stay up. Let's forget all that chat. We've got to stay up.
Go
but
from
this
17th
manager's
to Champions
top
League
draw, Will.
But
He's top draw.
17th to Champions League football next season?
He'll get it right. I've already seen...
Let's say we have 4 teams in the Champions League next season.
Yeah, but we always get 5.
Well, no, but let's just say we've got 4.
We always get 5.
OK, well, let's say we've got 5.
Yeah.
So
Spurs will finish 5th.
Spurs will finish 5th?
Yeah, next season, yeah.
Dangerous?
Dangerous, I'm telling you, but we've got to stay up. And I know that's a ridiculous thing to say, but I believe this manager, given what his track record is, given what I've seen already, the way the players are talking about him, what I've seen on the pitch, you know, if Spurs back him in the summer with some proper signings, some top quality players, get rid of the deadwood, and if he keeps us up, which I believe he will, next season, this manager, I'm telling you, he is top draw manager. We wasted so much time with Igor Tudor and Thomas Frank. We should have gone and got him at the start because he is a top-class manager, and I'm so happy that he is now in charge of us because what I've seen already, I'm so pleased with. Still got to keep us up, work to do, of course, and if he does get it over the line, I think Spurs will be back next season.
To be fair, look at the transition of Manchester United after Amorim went with Carrick.
It can change.
I mean, some people are saying if Carrick had the full season, they'd have been in the title race. Maybe you've even won the Premier League title this season. So are you saying that you said Champions League? You're saying Spurs could be in a sort of title push, Jamie, next season?
Not next season, no. Come on, no.
You said dangerous though.
Yeah, dangerous as in getting back to where they should be in Tottenham and being around the top, being around the Champions League places.
Yeah.
Man United have got to deal. I think Man United will get the job. Carrick, he'll get the job, but he's now got to deal with 4 competitions, Champions League. So I think Spurs next season, if we stay up, I think we do.
And done before the final day, you're saying? The Everton game means nothing. Done before the final day, Spurs avoiding the champ.
Well, look, that result against Aston Villa is massive, right? It's huge 6 points now we've picked up. So we can get it done before the final day because I don't think West Ham will win the next 2.
There you go. That's what's left. And look, by the way, if West Ham...
Well, if West Ham lose to Arsenal and Newcastle and we beat Leeds, it's over.
Yeah, and even just rewinding a bit before the Newcastle game, right? If West Ham lose against Arsenal and you beat Leeds, it's a 4-point cushion with 2 to play. That looks healthy.
Yeah.
Dangerous.
Well, dangerous next season, Will. Not now.
Right, he wasn't biting, was he? He wasn't biting on the title talk. Coming next, we'll talk all things Chelsea and discuss who should take over as manager at Stamford Bridge this